everybody have a guided notes? Yes. Everybody should have one? All right. So these go along with the presentation. And if you pay attention, it should be no problem to fill these in. Everything goes in order. So today, we're going to talk about supply and demand. You guys have been talking about the global market, free trade, what that does to communities, small and large, in the United States and around the world. But really, at the foundation of economics, we have the concept of supply and demand, which everybody's heard of supply and demand, I guess. I would say by now you probably have. But it's a really important concept to get a really good grasp of, because like I said, it's at the foundation of economics. Noah? Do you need an extra paper? There you go. Oh, I have one for you right here. If you... Alrighty. So supply and demand is exactly what it sounds. Supply, the supply you have of something, how much you have of something, and the demand, how many people want that something. So people are only going to make and produce what people want. It wouldn't make any sense to make something no one wants. So if you have 9 pairs of shoes, your supply is 9. If you have 10,000 cars, if you're Ford and your factory produces 10,000 cars, then your supply is 10,000 cars. On the flip side, we have supply's partner, demand. So demand is how in demand something is. How many people want the item that is on the market. So if 8 people are thirsty and go into the gas station and say, please give me a bottle of water, then the demand for that bottle of water is 8 people. If 10,000 people want to drive Ford cars, then the demand for Ford cars is 10,000 people. So supply is how much of something is available, demand is how many people want that item. So you rarely hear anybody talk about supply without talking about demand. And like I said, there would be no supply of something if there was no demand of it. So it's like a scale. You've got supply, sometimes high, sometimes low, demand, sometimes high, sometimes low, and that changes what something costs. So one of the key factors in the relationship between supply and demand is the price of something. So if something is really popular and the demand is really high and people are just clamoring to get it, the price is generally high. Why do you think the price is high for something that is really popular? Because why? Because everybody wants it. And so what would be the benefit of pricing something really high if it's a popular item?
You're going to make more money if you sell so much of it.
Make more because people are willing to
buy it.
Pay more, exactly. So something that's really popular today and that I just saw cost like over $2,000 a pair are Kanye West shoes, Yeezys. So I saw on the internet yesterday they a pair for almost $3,000. So when the demand for those Yeezys went up, people started asking more money for them because they're a popular shoe, it's a status symbol, people will pay more for something that they really, really, really want. But what happens when a cooler wrapper comes out with a cooler shoe? The demand for the Yeezys will go down, and the price will go down. Why do you think the price goes down when demand goes down?
Nobody wants it, and then that way.
So if I'm a shoe seller and I have 1,000 pairs of Yeezys that nobody wants to buy, why would I want to put them so I can sell them easier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people could be like, oh, but it's not that expensive. I can.
Right. So there used to be a time when people were willing to pay $2,000 so you could sell them for that much. But now people are like, whatever, the Yeezys are lame. I would only pay $20 for them. So when the price goes down, more people are willing to buy your supply so that you can have more room for the next cooler shoe. So when demand goes down, price goes down. So supply and demand, if demand and price are pretty closely correlated. So demand goes down, price goes down. Like we said, if demand goes up, price goes up. So they move the same direction. On the flip side, supply has an inverse relationship to price. So inverse means, does it mean the same? They do the same thing, or does it mean they do the opposite thing? So when supply is high, price is often low. Why do you think that is?
Get rid of them.
so you can get rid of it quicker, right? And so if low supply, if something is in low supply, so if a store only carries 2 of this thing, they'll charge higher prices for it. Why? Dave,
So
do you-
that, so they would get more profit out of it.
So they have they know people are willing to pay more because it's an item that they don't have a lot of. Like Gabe said, they want to make a profit out of the few items that they do have. So we've talked about supply and demand being different from each other, going up, going down, supply being high, demand being low, and vice versa. So when supply and demand meet each other in the middle, they're equal to each other, we achieve market equilibrium. So that's when the gas station has 6 bottles of water and there are 6 thirsty people who come in and want those bottles of water. So supply and demand are equal. We reach market equilibrium. So when the supply and demand are not equal, when one is really high and one is really low, we have price spikes and we have price dips. So the price is really volatile. But when we get in that sweet spot of equilibrium, market equilibrium, we reach price equilibrium, which means the price gets super, super stable. So you're not going to have a big price jump one day and the next day it's going to go down, or even within a couple of weeks. If someone's producing something at the same rate that people are buying it, we reach a really stable price of equilibrium pricing. So, if supply and demand are equal, the only thing that will change that price is an external factor. So, what are some external factors? If I work on a corn farm, and the supply for popcorn goes really high, but I can meet that demand. I'm really churning out the corn, so my supply is equaling consumers' demand. What is an external factor that would cause me to go out of market equilibrium? Rocio?
A drought.
A drought, really good. Anything else? Malin?
She's over there in the corner.
A flood? So the opposite of a drought, yeah, so weather. And we'll take one more, Abby. So I'm a corn farmer, and I'm able to produce enough corn for everybody's popcorn dreams. What would have to happen for me to just suddenly not be, it's outside of my control, and it's an external factor. What would happen for me to no longer be able to meet those needs? Electrical problems with your machinery? Yeah. So something that's totally... Yeah, I could see where that would work. Something that's totally unrelated to the market. So it's out of your control. It's out of the buyer's control. It's out of the producer's control. So let's do one more. Let's say that I am a bouncy ball manufacturer, and I know every 5-year-old in America wants a bouncy ball. And Gabe.
Me too.
And I'm able to produce a bouncy ball for every 5-year-old and Gabe. And so we've reached market equilibrium. What could happen in my bouncy ball factory to make it so market equilibrium goes out of whack? Tell me, Shelby.
You could get more workers.
So the number of workers is disrupted. So that is outside of the control. Nemo. So what happens in a factory? The machinery goes down. Okay. Let's think of one more. Donovan.
They start making them square.
They start making them square. Yeah, something happens and the bouncy balls come out square, and people are like, I'm not so into bouncy balls anymore.
Wouldn't it actually be fun?
More fun?
With the square bouncy
Bounces
squares.
around different places.
Well, see, market equilibrium doesn't mean that demand necessarily goes down. It could mean that the demand goes even higher. So let's say the machine starts accidentally making square bouncy balls, and square bouncy balls become so much more popular than round ones ever were, but we don't have any more workers, we don't have any more machines. The demand is going to be higher than our ability to supply. So that also, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes something gets really popular overnight and the factory or the farmer was not prepared. Alright, flip over your notes on the back. You don't have to write on these, and I just want to see if you remember. So flip them over so it's blank to blank side. Think about someone just in your own words and simple terms. Tell me.
Anderson, you did not just put me on her phone.
Tell me what supply is, Gabe.
Supply is how much of something you have.
Supply is how much of something you have. So what is market equilibrium, Jaden?
Which one? There's two.
It's just J-A-I-D-E-N. Oh, flip your notes over. Don't look at your notes. It sounds sorry. So, equilibrium, what does the word sound like? So when supply and demand are equal, is market equilibrium. Okay, so on the back of your paper, I want everyone, when I ask this question, to draw an arrow either up or down to signify what you think is happening to the price, and then I want you to hold the paper up.
Yes.
So what happens if supply is really high? What happens to the price of an item if supply is really high? So let's say I produce 90,000 cans of green beans, and the market is flooded with these cans of green beans. What am I going to do to the price to get them to sell? Hold up your down. Exactly. The price. Oh, did you mean to hold up that way, or did you mean to flip it over?
I could go tell him to shut up.
Exactly.
No, I
So
just
if
wonder
the
what's going
market
on.
is flooded with an item, you're going to lower the price. The price is going to go down. Good job. All right. So to exercise what we know about supply and demand, we're going to do an activity together, and then I'm going to set you off on one on your own.
We are trying to learn.
So we're going to read this article. It's about U.S. DVD sales continue to slide as digital viewing soars. So we're going to read it together. Make sure you're listening. So we're going to fill out a chart based on what we learned from the article. Will you read the first paragraph? Razia. No.
Ain't never.
I can't see very well.
Jaden, J-A-Y-D-E-N.
Not here.
He went to the bathroom.
All right. Yeleni.
Okay. U.S. spending on movies and TV shows for home viewing fell 1.8% to $17.8 billion last year, as sparing outlays on digital products fell to counter the continued decline of movies.
All right. Will Morgan read the next paragraph?
She's not here.
Oh, she's not here? Okay. Will Ureli read the next paragraph?
Okay, it says, the drop accelerated in the fourth quarter, with sales continuing down 60% to $2.34 billion, and rentals shrank 8.5% to $333 million. According to the Digital Entertainment Group, the Los Angeles-based
Consortium.
founded by the studio, digital spending, including rentals, purchases, streaming services, grew 60% to $2.12 billion.
Alright. Luan, will you read the next paragraph, starting with home entertainment?
Home entertainment is a major source of revenue for Hollywood. It sells 70% larger than the box office in the U.S. The increase has been accompanied by the shares of online viewing purchases have grown and spending on DVDs withered. Total home entertainment spending shrank 4.1% in the fourth quarter to $5.3 billion, a reflection of those trends.
Alright, and Karen, the last little bit?
Consumers embrace the convenience and accessibility of purchasing and collecting digital content, while studios reap higher margins from these digital sales, according to the statement.
Okay,
I can't
so
see from all the way over here.
we've learned about 2 items that are on the market.
I have to
Who can tell me one of those items? What was one of the things that was talking about, this article was talking about being sold?
DVDs.
DVDs, okay. So what changed about DVDs? Do people want them, not want them? Are they, people don't want them anymore?
I don't want them anymore. Because now we have Netflix and we can also, we have smart TVs and we can
What you gonna do?
stream
You
them
can't rent no
straight from
movie?
Okay,
Netflix.
so digital content is exactly what you're talking about, streaming, like Netflix, like Hulu, like Amazon. If you buy something off of iTunes. So that the other item on the market is that digital content.
And websites that are illegal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can watch a movie like literally 2 days after it comes out.
For free.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this really bad one.
Alright, so what has changed about the market for digital content?
People want more.
People want more.
Hate it.
Alright, so the demand for DVDs has increased or decreased?
Decrease.
And what do you think that has done to the price of DVDs?
Probably
Maybe go
decrease
down.
as well.
Decreased, yeah.
Probably say the same, it's catchy.
And then, so for
Yeah.
digital content,
Really nice.
has the demand increased or decreased? Increased.
I don't know about the price though.
So if digital content has, the demand for it has increased, what are the laws of supply and demand tell us is probably true about the price? It's
But now they
increased.
got the other stuff where you could pay $7.89,
Oh my God, you just ruined
$8.89,
the
$7.89, you know. They
Right,
got,
So-
they got packages.
they have packaging.
You
Alright, so does everybody get this,
watch three.
this activity? Because now I'm going to hand everybody an article about everyone's favorite roast beef restaurant, Arby's.
I don't like
No,
it.
that's not.
I'm just kidding, I love Arby's.
I might let that boy.
I hate it.
Can I go get my stuff from Miss McClure?
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Have your agenda.
He stopped. I had a pass. He still stopped.
He's in the bathroom.
Alright. Guys, I'm handing out a chart.
That security guard.
I'm handing out a chart that looks exactly like the one we just did, and an article that's pretty similar to what we just did. So make sure, if you have questions, raise your hand, let me know. You can work on this together, but make sure everybody reads their own article and fills out their own chart. Yeah, everybody gets their own.
This is so new.
What do you mean?
I gotta run this.
Haven't had it on paper in a week.
Oh wait, I have it.
I'm making for you.
Did you print this with your own paper?
What did you say?
Haven't had our own papers in a week because of
Yeah.
and not scratch paper.
Right, cursive. Bad. That's your bad handwriting.
Oh, there's four in there.
See it?
I'm gonna knock you out. My good handwriting is actually pretty nice.
Jaden,
I don't care.
you are on camera. You're on camera.
He said my handwriting sucks. That's
No,
what he said.
she said you weren't careful.
I know. They not gonna say nothing. It's like there, I'll be like this.
Honey, we've had enough fights today.
I knew there was like 4 of them for no reason. I tried to follow Hawkins. He tried to push kids out the way.
I told you.
I saw one today. I saw one.
I was like, why is he doing? He's like,
I heard it in my butt.
Ellie was with me. He was right there. He was sitting there watching.
and then Chris was all the way in the front.
Third boy right there by Missy Martin.
I followed Hawkins.
I was trying to Monet.
And you're the teacher.
Alright, does everybody have an article and a chart to fill out? Alright, let me know if you have any questions. You have one?
You like Dr. Who?
Bro, he's like the biggest person in the school.
You're already finished. Put your name on the paper.
Security.
I don't know, because nobody heard me on my 4.
He can throw. He can throw them.
My man gonna let me get in the car with
When it says market, it's asking what item specifically is on the market. Yes. Yes.
He can't throw.
How about BB&T?
Get some.
How about BB&T?
Now I'm hungry for some brisket.
Let's take a field trip to Arby's.
Excuse me. Now I want some brisket. Did you bring that too?
Extra credit.
Oh.
Do some extra credit.
What do you mean by extra credit? Like what you need?
Do extra work and she'll
Maybe you should bring us some brisket.
Am I gonna get an A in this class?
It's not guaranteed.
guaranteed. If I bring food, will I get a day? I bring food. I bring food for everybody. I bring food for all the periods.
You bring me some
If you're finished,
Yes.
I'll
no
collect
meat?
it, put your article in
With
the
no meat?
I'm a vegetarian.
What is Cuban food without meat? Right? Our food like revolves around pork. Do you eat beans?
Beans, yes.
Okay, I'll make some beans. I'll make her some rice. I can make her yellow rice.
Hello.
I can make her yellow rice with vegetables, but no chicken. I know, what it doesn't taste the same. It tastes the same, but you don't have the chicken. Can you have chicken flavoring? It's like powder.
Is chili ramen noodles good?
It's powder. No, they're spicy.
Not
Like
really.
really, really
I've always
spicy.
wanted that.
It's probably enough now.
Okay.
Chili ramen?
It's like